One of the most profound things I've learned in my life is that it's actually not about my hair at all. I've spent a lifetime trying to cover up who I am. And as much as I love a good external transformation, and I do, I much more love a heart transformation. Join me as I share how I work to heal my heart, find happiness, and embrace our hair. Welcome back to another episode of It's Not About Your Hair, where we talk all things hair, heart, and happiness. Hey, you guys, I'm filming back-to-back episodes, not changing my clothes and not doing my makeup. So if you tuned in and saw me last week, same trucker hat, same shirt, same water bottle, same thing. Why? Because I can feel the resistance telling me to not push ahead. So we're pushing ahead. This is my first time ever that I'm wearing the same clothes in back-to-back episodes. Even if I film 5 episodes in a row, I usually change so that I can make your content more visually appealing and myself more visually appealing. But guess what? We're not doing that. Today, I just have one quick thing. So every single episode, there's no common theme other than my life and my hope that I'm helping you to live a better today than you lived yesterday, and that you're a little braver, you have a little more grace for yourself and others, and maybe a new lens. That's what it's always about, you guys. So if you're tuning in and you can see me, then I'm going to put on these glasses, because remember, that's what this is about, is our willingness to look at the things that we have skewed our vision on so that we can have a better tomorrow. Hey, this is really fun. So this is a work-related, I've done a couple work-related things, and I wanted to share, I am launching my first ever e-product. So an e-book, e-journal, something like this. And hopefully by the time this episode comes out, we should be close to it. The launch. I have it ready, but here's what I want you to know. I don't know how to do any of this, you guys. And I hear this behind my chair all of the time. And I hear it out in the world and at church and with my friends. I don't know how. And we did a whole episode called I Don't Know How. Do it anyways. So I'm so excited, because what it is this idea that we have to get quiet enough to hear what we're supposed to do. So my book recommendation this week, The Big Leap. The Big Leap. Listen to it on Audible. If you're not a reader, listen to it on Audible. My goodness, if you're a reader, buy it right now. We have to get out of these small thinking and jump ourselves out into the world and realize that we have something that's for us to do. And once we can do that, the sky's the limit. So this is just a silly old ebook. Might not be successful at all. Remember last episode? Doesn't matter. It's about the resistance, giving into the resistance. And the ebook came out of quiet time. You guys, I've talked about this a lot. If you're not doing it yet and you're here for episode, I don't know, I don't remember what it is, 36, 37, something like that. If you haven't learned anything from me, it's that we have to be still in order to hear. We need to get in this practice of listening to our internal thoughts, not in the mean ones, not the ones we talked about last week that tell us we're unworthy of love, but there's something you're meant to do. And then we have to not get caught in the weeds that we have to do it all ourselves. I used to do that a lot. So if an idea comes to me, will God not then provide the next steps for me? Or do I need to look for help? Do I need to process through? Are there people around me that can help me? Because maybe that's what they're supposed to do. You just don't know. So if there's something that you're dreaming of doing, you need to step into it, and you need to be clear about what you're looking for. The vision's super important. So I'm launching this ebook. I'm hoping that by sharing this, it's an e-journal actually. So fun, because it's something that I could use, something that I used as a food tracker in my daily life, that if you're a curly girl, you are going to want to use this. And if you follow me and you're an Innocence girl, you're going to want to use it even more. But it's called A Curly Girl's Guide to Self-Acceptance. For your hair, your heart, and your happiness. So we're going to be tracking more than just your hair. We're going to be talking about your heart and your happiness, working on our gratitude, working on how we show up. Because listen, this podcast has to do something. So if you're a curl friend and you're here and you are listening, then you're going to download this. Can't tell you where it's at yet because I don't know those things yet, you guys. I don't know how I'm going to sell it. I have a couple of ideas. I don't know how to sell it yet, but this is why I'm doing this episode beforehand so that when you see it ready for sale, you'll know that I didn't know just 2 weeks before, but I'm just making the next step. Okay, so I dreamed of the thing. I had an idea. I started trying to do it myself, and I got real frustrated because I'm not a graphic designer. So I said, who do I know that can do it? I sent it over, said, hey, can you help me with this? She's like, sure, no problem. A couple of revisions later, we have it. Now I have it. Now the next step is we got to figure out how to sell it because here's what I know. I'm not the only one who needs this thing. So if there's something that you have in your heart, in your quiet time, because remember last episode, we talked about how we're either comparing ourselves and making ourselves feel unworthy based on others, or we're doubting ourselves. Let's get in the freaking middle, folks, and just decide that we're worthy of a really excellent and cool and full life. And that doesn't mean, notice I didn't say wealthy, overabundance, hoping for that too, let's be honest. But full, like not sitting around all day feeling gross about myself and wondering why I suck. Not that, but full, like I created something that put out into the world. And you might think it's just a hair journal, but I know that when I track the foods that I eat, I'm more aware of what I put into my body. When I think about my hair in a way that's elevating instead of deflating, I'm going to begin to like my hair more. When I start to understand the rhythms of my wash days, I'm going to have better wash days. When I understand what product cocktails go together, which is coming your way, what you're going to use together. But then it's more important. So on the front of the journal is these mirrors because you guys, when I say it's not about your hair, I mean it. I am a curly hair specialist. I'm also a curly girl, and I'm your online curl friend. But it's not about our hair. As we talked about in our last episode, how we see ourselves shapes how we show up. So if you believe that you are unlovable, it doesn't matter how beautiful. I've seen beautiful, beautiful women who show up in this world with their head down and their shoulders hunched because they don't believe. So we always think we're going to be happier when we're the right size, when our hair's just right. And all those things are awesome. But how we look at ourselves matters on how we see ourselves. So we're going to work on in our little book, how we're going to work on what we see, what we say to ourselves, not just about what you refreshed your hair with, because I have clients that come in, you guys, that look beautiful and they don't see that. So tracking our hair, our heart, and our happiness. So the practice of, let's see, quick little tidbit. So heart, for me, says the heart tracker is how we feel inside. It's the little things we can do to recognize our thoughts. Remember our last episode? We want to take our thoughts captive. We don't want to allow the meanie weenies in our head to pummel us around, because you can have a great hair day, but talking mean about yourself ain't going to get you very far. And then our happiness tracker. Happiness is a state of mind. You can bring happiness into your life with the practice of gratitude and reflection. So there's a cocktail here of your hair, your heart, and your happiness that are super important to your process. And so I'm going to let you know when it's officially out. I'm hoping that it's officially out by the time this airs in a couple more weeks. But I have to find the next steps. And I'm not afraid of that. And I'm not afraid of putting it out and having it not be a success right away, or putting it out and here's my hope. Let's put it out. That let's make it big. I hope 4,000 of you. I only have 1,200 of you on the podcast. So 4,000 of you buy the Hair, Heart, and Happiness Tracker. And then I hope that you all subscribe to my podcast and that you work on more than your hair, because I'm here for the balance, right? You got to get that hair right. You got to get your curls on point, but you got to have your eyes on point and your heart on point so you can make it to the next, okay? So, and don't be afraid. I don't know how to do it, But you mark my dang words, I might be a day late like I was on my podcast because I was in my self-doubt. It might show up and you might download it the first time and it ain't right. I don't know. But I'm going to do it anyways. And you're going to do it anyways. And this was just a quick 9-minute today. 9 minutes and we're in and we're out. Because I want you to take the rest of the 10 minutes you would have used listening to my podcast to turn the music off wherever you're at. I want you to close your eyes. In the Big Leap, they say, it usually takes about 2 minutes of breathing to regulate and close down your nervous system, to just get your body back to normal. And so maybe just the sound of running water, maybe something, but I want you to slow down everyone else's opinion. I want you to slow down the noise in your own head. So 2 minutes deep breathing every time you feel that wave of anxiety or emotion. I know it sounds kooky, but you're going to do it. Couple of deep breaths. Set a timer for 2 minutes. I really want you to. And I want you to practice this breathing. And every time the thoughts or the interruptions come in, and I have ADD, so I'm with you, but we're going to breathe through them. And we're just going to go back to this idea of trying to calm, peaceful. And then from there, he talks about picking something you want to say, nice about yourself or the world. And I think his line is, remember, I breathe in, I'm living a life of abundance. Oh, God, I can't remember. What is it? Anyways, mine is that I'm living a life on purpose to help others to find their purpose. I live a life on purpose to help others find their purpose. I know it's cheesy, but it works, and it slows down other people's opinions, whether they're in your head or they're things you're consuming. And I want you to take the next 5 to 10 minutes to find something to say every day to yourself that motivates you and helps you restabilize when the self-doubt comes in, because it will come. And I want to thank you for allowing me to show up late to this podcast, a week late, to show up 2 weeks in a row in the same outfit, because we're just fighting past the resistance. And I would like to thank you for being here. Goodness sakes, there's a million things you could do with your time, and you choose to show up with me. I do pray that as we keep going and fighting through, the resistance will become less. And I hope that you find this podcast irresistible. And if you do, I really hope you'll comment, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about it, share it on your social media. Goodness sakes, it could really do a lot if you would just make sure you tune in and hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate you guys. And as always, you are worthy of love. If you're having a bad day, I want you to know that tomorrow is a new day. You have the opportunity to sail above the waves. I guess this is where I ask you to subscribe to my channel, to follow me on social, and to listen wherever podcasts can be found. And join me every Tuesday at 2 as we unpack how to heal your hair, your heart, and your happiness.